So Wham Bam Thank You Ma'am was our sketch show, comprising of satire, musical comedy, parody and narrative sketch with the central theme of everyday experiences through the female lens. It was a 6-part half-hour series co-funded by Screen Australia, Screen New South Wales, ABC and CISO, which was a US SVOD under NBCU. It aired in 2016 to rave reviews by my parents. Sarah, Greta and I co-wrote, directed and starred in the show. Our production company Skitbox, in conjunction with Hardy White and Sticky Pictures, produced it. And I was pregnant with my second child, FYI, a fact which makes us firmly believe that we can only get TV shows if I'm pregnant, because this year we have had no TV shows and I'm on the Inclinon, so you do the maths. This was definitely the most challenging, exhausting, anxiety-inducing extravaganza of the year, but we had the most incredible time. There's nothing like having a $1.2 million budget resting on your shoulders for a show that you're writing, directing, acting in, with about 100-odd crew that you have to pay, with a $250,000 loan that you have to pay back, to add a few more butterflies every second of every day for a year to your tummy. This was, and at this stage still is, the pinnacle of our careers. We were really, really, really happy to be doing it. In fact, in 2012, when we first got together, we set a date and made a promise or a goal to have a show on ABC within 2 years. It took us 4, so it was an epic fail. And there's nothing really to test your resolve about why you want a career in making stuff than doing a low-budget TV show, because there is no glamour. Like it's pretty fucked. Especially when you're pregnant. In that last clip that you saw, I was 5 months pregnant. I was wearing stiletto heels, a girdle, and I had to do a stunt. We had a stunt double, but I had to do a little bit of a stunt. Greta's costume, her sweaty lycra thing, that was actually falling apart on one side, and it was just gaffer tape by the end of it. It was 10 degrees and the wind was blowing a gale. It was crazy. And the whole sketch was about women whose clothes fall apart because they're unnecessary. It was quite meta. It was beautiful, actually. For us, making something like this was really important because it was actually, from our understanding, the first all-female sketch show since the 90s in Australia, since Big Girls Blouse or, Kath and Kim, would have been maybe the closest thing. Look, ours didn't have as much reach or wasn't as, much of a cultural standout as theirs, but it was still an achievement for us. And we also had a crew comprising of 90% female heads of department, which again is unfortunately something you don't see in Australian film and TV or around the world at the moment. We had an incredible time with ABC and CISO and Screen Australia in the writing of the show. They actually gave us free rein. They actually pushed us to be as taboo as possible with exploring female-driven content. Again, something you don't see that much on air in Australia. And we also got to do some really fun stuff, as you've seen from the photos. A lot of prosthetics, stunts, VFX. It was great. And again, we worked with some incredible cast and crew. A lot of the crew that we had worked with from the very beginning. Our DOP and our soundie, the good one, they had been with us the whole time. And so it was really nice. Again, no, I already talked about that. Again, we also did, stupidly, I guess, throw in the better part of our fees into the show, onto the screen. About 6 months worth of our rent and dental appointments are in that show. That's okay, I can still chew on this side of my mouth. It's all good. Okay, so you're probably wondering maybe, we've been working together for 5 years, we've reinvested all our fees into all our shit. How are we making any money? It's a good question, we ask ourselves that all the time. Look at this intricate slide. Where's our money at? Alright, branded content. So for Skitbox, our way of making rent is by writing, directing or acting in brand-funded content or ads. We never really delved into the YouTube monetized clip realm because for years we just weren't generating enough hits to generate revenue. Also, it's really hard to monitor all that stuff, and the combined mathematical and accounting skills of Greta, Sarah and I amount to that of a Year 6 student, so we just didn't bother. But after activewear, we were approached by lots of brands to make stuff for them, and our first branded content piece, which you saw some photos of there, were for Optus, and in conjunction with Emotive, and they were really great because they just wanted us, they had an idea, they wanted us to make it funny, and they wanted us to put it on our channel. They and all they really needed was a top and tail of their brand, so that was quite easy. The second thing that we did was for a brand I can't mention. They just picked a couple ideas that we had, went with one, and they're like, shoot it, edit it, it's fine, just don't mention us whatsoever, no branding. And don't mention us when you upload it. Like, we don't want to see our name on this at all. And we're like, all right, how you benefiting? It's okay, no, all right, I'll take your money, that's all good. And you can try and guess what it is if you want. This is it. What is she doing? Is that twerking or crumping?
No. Don't you know what that dance is? I thought all girls knew that dance.
What dance?
It's the UTI dance.
It's the UTI dance. It's the UTI dance.
Got a fire.
It's the UTI
Oh, she obviously has a UTI. A urinary tract infection? Oh.
Yeah, I've never had one of those.
You will someday.
Don't plan on it.
Oh! It's the UTI dance. It's the UTI dance.
Yeah, so that goes off for another 30 seconds. UTI dancing. So yeah, you probably wouldn't be able to guess the actual brand, but the message of drinking cranberry juice, you might be able to put two and two together. Look, for us, that's the ideal branded content piece for us to make right there, because we want to make it it's really important to us that anything that we do for other brands still reflects our own brand, which is just making female-driven, satirical pieces that are just funny. So basically, you know, when people approach us, we just let them know quite strongly we're not ad writers, we're sketch writers. So we don't try and sell a product in the ad. But if they just want something funny, then that's what we'll do. But this realm was also a chance for us to be really firm in what we'll charge for what we make. Unlike our, you know, web series and TV pilot and TV show where we put in our fees as an investment into prolonging our careers, into, you know, making as good quality shows as we can so that we can do it again someday. With branded content, you can actually charge a bit more because it is just it's a service that you're being paid money for. Much like prostitution, which is okay, that's fine, it's 2017. But no, it is, but we also do make sure that we still create everything with as much quality and vigour, and we put our heart and soul into it as much as we can because it's our reputation, and we also just want to make more money to make rent and feed our children.